This is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
So Roseanne attacking this woman wasn't as big an issue as her attacking the Zionists and attacking the Zionist Muslims. And of course, Valerie Jarrett is a Zionist, and Valerie Jarrett is more than likely a covert Jew, or at least has covert Jewish connection, or familiar Jew. She doesn't lie about it. And Obama has Jewish roots. People don't, I mean, you can go look it up. The Jewish newspapers celebrated Obama was the first Jewish president in American history. The mainstream Jewish paper said he's Jewish. See, I don't read American papers about stuff. Remember the guy Schrakel, the one who made the pharmaceutical drug go up 16? They'll never say anything. You just know that there's this awful guy doing this, but they won't tell you he's Jewish. Whenever I see something in the news, this is my advice to your audience. When you hear about a person doing a financial crime or some sort of trickery or crookery, and they won't tell you anything other than the crime he's committed, assume the person is Jewish until you know otherwise. And what do? Don't blame or hate all Jews, because it's not all Jews, it's one individual. Go in and look up the Jerusalem Post. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Post, P-O-S-T, or Haaretz, Haaretz, Haaretz newspaper, and go in and see what they're saying about these people. Like the guy that got killed in North Korea, the ones that North Koreans killed, that snatched down the Kim Il-sung thing and he got busted. Did you know he was Jewish? But they won't tell you that. That's why there was so much attention. You had never heard about those three people being held in North Korea until they came back and Trump went to see them. Had you heard about those 3 men in jail?
Oh, no.
Okay. It's the Jewish one over there that got in the news. Excuse me. I knew this guy has to be Jewish because they're giving him so much attention. They're so worried about how he's treated, all this stuff, right? I'm thinking, wow. I mean, I knew there are other people that are being held in North Korea. He's the only prisoner that they've got. Von Baer, do you know where you look? I looked in the Jewish press. There's all these stories about Von Baer. I said, why are people in Israel so worried about an American citizen? But then again, maybe they were a dual citizen. Are you understanding me?
Yes, sir.
A lot of times when you see stuff in the news and you're wondering why is there so much hype about it, it's usually because the person is Jewish and they've got Jewish backing and they look out for their own. I'm not mad at them. But we should be able to see when something is what it is and why it is what it is. And I think Roseanne Barr has some like Jewish connection, whatever, but she isn't, kissing up to Israel on certain things, so she's bad. Now, what people don't know is Roseanne Barr, either she ran or she was looking at running for president in the Green Party.
Yeah, she did do that, I think, a couple years back.
And what people don't know is that Roseanne Barr was giving money to Cynthia McKinney. You want to make Jewish people mad. I mean, it's one person. I mean, you ever see the old commercials? Say, raid! Right? And the roaches are screaming, raid. Kenny just makes certain type of Jewish person just lose their mind. Just, if just even acknowledging that she did anything, it's just war. Remember we met, this is Cynthia McKinney and folk were mad. Cynthia McKinney was supported by Roseanne Barr.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine, Roseanne Barr is saying some stuff, minus the monkey stuff, the stuff she said about Soros and Hillary Clinton's daughter. That's the kind of stuff that an anti-Zionist person says. So they punished Roseanne. And Valerie Jarrett, who's basically tried to deflect because she don't want people to know who she is. Because she's gone to Chicago. They have paid her thousands of dollars to speak. And the people ran her out of town. And her own hometown, she can't go and speak anywhere because she didn't do anything for the people of Chicago. People hate her. They don't like her. And so what's happening, another reason they're attacking Roseanne, is that there were three people that were supposed to be power players in Chicago. Rahm Emanuel, Barack Obama, and Valerie Jarrett. Only one of them has power. And if you notice, Obama's on the ropes. Now, let me get this woman's name because, there's so much to share. In fact, ask me another question. I just want to get this, see if this woman's husband's Jewish or not. Her name is, and the name is Dungy. And, Dungy is another way of saying shitty. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I didn't do it. I didn't make this language. I'm only telling you what it means. D-U-N-G-E-Y, Dungy.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. I mean, her name means I didn't do this. Don't hate me. Please don't get mad at me. Do you realize when you start thinking, wait a minute, she married this dude. Marin Dungy. Okay, that's his sister. Okay. Her spouse. Hold on, who's she married to? She's from Sacramento. Okay. So who is her husband? That's not her name. Okay, it's Dudu. Now, who is she married to? Scott Power. Her daughter's name is Eden. Now, it's interesting. You can't find who's Scott Power. I need to look. Remember Austin Power?
Mm-hmm.
For the $6 million man?
Mm.
Power is a Jewish surname, oftentimes. And I'm saying it has to be, but it can be. Let me look him up real fast. See, they're talking about this strong black woman and how she's calling shots at ABC.
Mm-hmm.
When folks come into corporate America, they don't shake up stuff too hard. Folks will get mad at them real fast. Let me see. Hold on one second. I just want to look at something, and because and I want to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I got the picture of him. It's definitely a white dude. Mm-hmm. I told you. Hold on, here it is. Let me see, I got something. 2 days. Now his name just showed up. You couldn't find. A lot of times when people are hiding, they don't want you to know anything about them.
Right.
That's how certain people that are rich do stuff. So you have this black woman that's got all this power, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these ignorant professional black women want to make you think that they got power. Oh, I'm looking at him. He could be. Okay, what is it? He's born November 10th, 1968, an American entrepreneur, businessman, husband of, okay. Let me see what else I would say about him. Let me see, what does it say about dude? He's 50 years old. You can't get. He's an entrepreneur. So she's married to a white businessman.
Mm-hmm.
They have adopted a daughter. And 2012, which means they didn't have a kid together. Either he's sterile or she's sterile, or both of them sterile, or they had so many abortions they can't have a baby or something. Let me see. And Davis Invitation, she worked for Davis Entertainment. Okay. Where does she know? Wow. He married this lady in they've been married 15 years. Interesting. He's a property consultant. They say he's a Christian. Okay. All right. 5 feet 11 inches. Look at this. Father's name not known. Mother's name not known. Brother's name will update soon. Sister's name. And you, let me, he graduated in economics. He went to Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Scary. His net worth is $15 million. Okay. All right, so here we got it. Dude marries his sister. Uh-oh, I see what's going on here. She worked with the film Bridges of Madison County and The Matrix. All right, I'm done there. She's married to a white dude with some money, with mysterious background. Are you understanding me that who is this sister? Who is this broad?
Right.
And by the way, she worked for Davis Entertainment, okay? And of course, she went into Warner Brothers, okay? We know the Warner Brothers are Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Davis Entertainment is. I'm almost done. I just want to see what this is. It was started in 1984. Have a bunch of films, and they don't say much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Here go the films that they have something to do. They were involved in iRobot, Dr. Dolittle 1 and 2, Daddy Daycare, Norbert, Waterworld, Alien vs. Predator, Garfield the movie, and okay, so those are some blockbuster films. In particular, the first 5: iRobot, Dr. Dolittle 1 and 2, Daddy Daycare, Norbert. This is who she was working with. We know that that's a Jewish company. So this broad is tied into Hollywood.
Okay.
Okay, enough of that. Have I satisfied you with this thing for?
Yeah, it's definitely a deeper rabbit hole than I suspected. I mean, but she is Jewish, from my understanding. She claims Jewish heritage. Roseanne does.
That you're a self-hating Jew, then they have to punish you even harder. Yeah, Jewish people that tell the truth, that don't want to go with the BS. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like black folks like me who speak up against Obama. We have to deal with black folks. You know, I love that cool. I wish I would just stop standing up, stop speaking about black power and freedom. Just accept this Savior so I can be happy. Okay, right. Wow. So, the thing I'll just say, and I'll close it here. It was funny. I laughed. I love seeing Coons catch hell. I don't even care if it's a racist person that does it. Mm-hmm. Coons deserve to be reviled and ostracized. And I don't care if a white bigot does it. She did us a favor. There are a lot of people who had never looked at this little reptilian-looking broad with her mohair, Valley Jet. Okay, nobody looked at her little silly boule ass until Roseanne ripped her a new one. And the good thing about this is that it's you know, Trump has already put his mouth in this. He couldn't hold up off of it. Mm-hmm. So This is going to be very interesting. And if you look at it, the owner of Disney, he and Trump, if you saw Trump and them were fighting, you can go to CNN, anybody that wants to, just take my word for it. I didn't even do the obvious Jewish stuff. I did the unobvious Jewish stuff. Now let me go and bring up some more Zionist stuff right here so people can go and see something in the white mainstream thing. Because you know how black folks don't like when you do your own analysis and research. Who white will validate what you just told him, Hurt? Can someone white validate this? I need someone white with guts to certify that this information can be looked at. Because, you know, we shouldn't think for ourselves, right? And here we go. Let me pull this down. Trump said his name, because, you know, Trump works for Zionists, but every now and then Trump gets mad. Here we go. Trump brought it up today. And leave it to Trump to take something personally. I love when Trump takes things personally because he will tell, he doesn't care. He is so comfortable with being a white man.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like hide stuff. Here it is. President Trump's reaction to the cancellation of Roseanne is a shot at Disney CEO Bob Iger. I'm going to just tell you right now, you know what kind of name that is. We don't even have to waste any time. Bob Iger of ABC. So Bob Iger of ABC called Barry Jarrett to let him know that ABC does not tolerate comments like those made by Roseanne Barr.
Mm.
So one of the big Jews at Disney, what is Disney, the owner of ABC? They've bought all these things. I don't even know who owns what anymore. I guess Disney owns ABC. Called to tell her he was going to shut Roseanne down.
Mm. Wow.
Think about it. I repeat, Bob Iger of ABC called Barry Jarrett to let her know ABC does not tolerate comments like those made by Roseanne Barr.
Mm.
Look at who stepped in. Remember the civil rights movement we thought was for us?
Mm-hmm.
Who's benefited more than black people have from the civil rights movement? We got the beating and the martyrs and the bombing and the jails. Who got the contracts, the jobs, and the access? Honestly speaking.
White people. White females.
Not just them. Civil rights movement has done more for Jews than it ever did for black people.
Oh, wow.
Fact.
You said something right there.
Fact. And so, and I do not believe for 1 minute that the Planet of the Apes reference or the Muslim Brotherhood reference was at the heart of why they took her on. I think the other reason that they attacked Roseanne is because she supports Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And what you need to understand is that Trump is backed by Sheldon Adelson, a very wealthy Jewish man who owns gambling casinos and other things.
Mm-hmm.
And yet other Jews that do not like him. There's a fight between Jewish factions. There was a fight between Obama and Hillary. Pritzker represents the Chicago Jews that were behind Obama. Hillary was backed by another set of Jews in New York. The Massachusetts Jews that backed the Kennedys. If you remember, Obama was catching hell until the Kennedys came out for him. Remember, there was a certain point where Ted Kennedy, just before he died, came out and told people to back Obama?
Yeah.
Remember who was a senator in New York that had gotten Jewish support? Robert Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Kennedy was able to cause a division between various New York sectors of Jews. As well, he brought the Massachusetts Jews. That Boston has a very strong Jewish community. And Brookline, where the Kennedys grew up.
Right.
They were able to to destroy the support that Hillary would have gotten otherwise. And the only thing they needed, which happened quite intelligently, remember Bill Clinton said that black people thinking Obama could win was a fairy tale?
Mm-hmm.
In New Hampshire? Right after that, that's what killed Hillary. Because if you get some of the Jews and you get some of the whites, and then you get all the black people to vote for a black candidate in the Democratic convention, or I'm sorry, primary, they're going to win. Obama's going to sweep the South and the other places.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what killed Hillary. When Obama was criticized by Clinton was right before they went into South Carolina. That was timed. Clinton was set up. And they went right into South Carolina, in the state where blacks are the majority of the Democratic voters. There was no way. If you win South Carolina, that's like the key to the South. I think, they're going back to the Civil War and the firing of the cannon at Fort Sumter. You win South Carolina, you're likely to win the rest of the Deep South. That's Florida, that's Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Arkansas, right? Now, and Hillary lost. She never regained. She never had a comeback after losing South Carolina, because that's the test. If you can't win South Carolina, you can't have the South. And Obama was competitive in a lot of other places. Now, we're done with him. What's another topic? So I'm done with Roseanne.
Oh, about moving on to Morgan Freeman. What do you think is behind the Morgan Freeman situation?
Morgan Freeman, for him to say he wanted to screw a woman that was pregnant is inappropriate. But we've got people who rape folks, not someone that needs to be criticized or censored for inappropriate behavior, but no rape. I mean, I'm thinking about Pizzagate in this country. I'm thinking about Pedogate in this country, where children and women are raped and trafficked and murdered, and snuff films are made. Real pain, real abuse, real hurt. And you want to make light of that by saying he said something inappropriate? This is a white hysterical virgin game I'm not interested in playing. I'm sick of playing sexuality cops and robbers with hysterical white women. We've already been through this. I think I repeat if I didn't tell you. Money, Mississippi, my family, the Battles, my cousins, who are somehow cousins to what? The Wrights, who are cousins to the Tills. That boy was murdered because a white woman said. And if you look now and then on Facebook in your feeds, you'll see over and over again white women accusing black men of rapes and crimes they never committed. This is as American as a high caloric and high salt diet for white women to lie, or for white women to be the victims of sexual abuse. It's a power grab for white women. Am I saying that women aren't raped? Nope. Am I saying sexual abuse against women, it doesn't happen? Nope. But am I saying that we have a documented history, whether it's the Scottsboro case or others, where white women lie between their teeth about sexual abuse? Hell yeah. And what I'm angry about is nobody's come forward and said, look, let's get over pretending that all white women are paragons of virtue. Let's go right back to Jamestown Colony. Who were the first large number of white women brought to the Americas? Whores and prostitutes. Fact. The very first white women brought here were tramps and prostitutes to clean out the jails. They could start a new life for themselves, to pretend everything old is new again. And I wasn't talking about their clothes. It's new to you if you haven't had it. So whether she was a prostitute in England, she came to America where women and white women were few in numbers, then she could command a high price. So white women and being easy or having low virtue or little virtue is the beginning of white women being in British North America. Fact. So, they hold their way across the Atlantic Ocean to come here. Fact. Most white women initially were of low repute. And not much has changed in 400 years. Actually, the one thing that's changed is that stupid black men run after white tramps and think they've got something and walk right by a queen and pick up one of these that don't look as good as Roseanne Barr and demand that everybody respect her and want their kids to be called something other than black. I'm so sick. In fact, I've been seeing black men getting beaten up, running out, pretending that there's not a racial code in this country, that people do not like mixed couples. I'm not saying you can't go out with who you go out with, but there are a whole lot of folks that will hurt and kill you. Vernon Jordan's little coon ass got shot. Mess with the white woman. Everyone, white and male, and otherwise, Arabs and others, do not like black men being around their women. They are haters, racial haters, good and bad haters.
Mm-hmm.
And so, so what you got an extra inch? If you don't got an extra inch of metal plate around your head or your heart, when they come shooting, you're going to die just like a person with a 2-inch.
Mm.
Silly black men, stop running out thinking that, if you do have a bigger than someone else, it hasn't made you free. It hasn't made you economically stable. It hasn't protected your woman and your children. In fact, in New Orleans, they kill people's dogs during Katrina. Your pets aren't safe, no matter how big your thing was.
Mm.
And no matter how big a black woman's booty. Yes, it's true. The one thing that's too big to fail in this country is not banks, it's booty. But when has booty, sisters, saved us, sustained us? It might get you a free ride across country. It might even help you get a promotion in your job. But does it ultimately end the systemic and structural oppression of our people? The answer is no. Is sleeping with the enemy or sleeping with people in other ethnic groups necessarily a path to success and empowerment? Well, we've been sleeping with people for 500 years. Are we any better off? Seems like the more we screw, the further behind we get. Seems like we should say no to a lot of things. No to the new Superfly movie. No to participating in the NFL. No to putting your money in white banks. No to buying blonde wigs. No to having Asians do your feet or your hands. No to eating a food that dog and cat anyway. No to everything that you could say no to.
Mm-hmm.
There's a power in being intolerant. As for Morgan Freeman, they're after Steve Harvey. In fact, you know what? I can't wait for them to dig up Martin Luther King and test his DNA and try to find a whole bunch of white kids. They're going to want to get a piece of the King Center. Say, well, the King's father. This is the kind of stuff. Don't be surprised if it happens, where folks want to have one of the King kids arrested to see if they can prove everything was Martin Luther King. And you know what? Some of the King kids are so weak, they probably give it to them. They won't say anything for homeless people in Atlanta, but they probably let a half white brother or sister get a piece of the King Center.
Wow.
You know how weak. I'm sorry, forgiving everybody.
Mm.
But they have, they forgive white people. And I know you heard about Bernice King going to Ferguson, denounced the black folks protesting police brutality. Did you know that?
So when it first happened a couple of years back?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part. I didn't know she denounced it. Okay.
Yes, down there and cursed, went off on the people and denounced them, told them they were stupid, they need to stop protesting. Bernice King.
I didn't know that. Wow.
And well, Tracy Morgan with himself. She do look like this. She do.
Now, Roseanne said that, would she still have a sitcom?
Well, it's not racist. I'm just saying facial comparisons are alike.
Yeah.
And she do have broad shoulders. Probably she could go in the NFL, get Kaepernick's job. Although his bush would look better on her.
Mm.
She'd look nice with the afro instead of using the perm. Perm's calling. In fact, sisters need to stop perming their hair. They call it fibroids, some other kind of stuff. You know that the stuff that they use, whether it's the sanitary napkins or the black hair care products, I said the most dangerous thing known to mankind. This is just rubbing all in their hair, getting their hair done every week, and wondering if they're sick. You know, and I'm wondering if the black companies use the same dangerous stuff as the white companies. They probably know, well, you know, our lie isn't as bad as the white people's lie. No, you shouldn't have any lie in anyone's hair. Now, brother, let me see. There's something else I want to just kick it with you on, and that is this sister down in Georgia. In fact, the devil down in Georgia. Remember there was a band, something Daniels band, and they had a song, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Mm-hmm. I'm going to find a name for that. That sister there, I got a good email from Cynthia McKinney because I asked her, tell me about this chunky feminist flunky. And yeah, it's a Charlie Daniels band. The name came with Charlie Daniels band. The song, The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Right.
And this broad is a devil in Georgia. She is not a friend of the people. I know you have a lot of people in the South that are follow you, Brother Hurd, and need to know that she's a coon. I get this on good account from Cynthia McKinney. There's a gentleman who is an active member of the Georgia legislature, state senator by the name of Robert Brown, who was suicided under very mysterious circumstances, who used to consistently raise hell with this sister. I call her Gay G. Abrams instead of Stacey. And you just look at the sister, and you know, I'm serious. She's the new Donna Brazile. I guess they needed a new mammy figure for the Democratic Party. So there they have. In fact, she's more bang for the buck. She's lighter skinned than Donna Brazile. Mm-hmm. She's younger, and she's less rebellious against white people. And she wears her hair natural, which will deceive a whole lot of people. And she's making all this noise about how she wears her hair. I don't care how you wear your hair. I care about the policies that you make. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And this woman is not, she's a coon. And they are using over and over and over again. And at some point, sisters that you keeping, having something happen over and over, because that's natural. But it is not a period to keep having to put up feministic, fake men or female politicians that are supposed to just excite black people. You get where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. And the whole game is to excite and make people feel like someone black's going to get a position so black folks will be stirred up and come out and vote. And then we're back in the Democratic Party. That's what they're trying to do. And this is wrong. Now, see, Robert Brown died in 2011. He represented the 26th district. He served 20 years. He resigned to run to be mayor of Macon, Georgia. Mm-hmm. Then they say they found his body in his home. The local coroner revealed Brown died from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Mm. He was a Democratic minority leader in the Georgia Senate. But he always had to fight against Stacey Abrams. Are you understanding me? Mm-hmm. The big brother murdered, conveniently out of the way, 61 years old when he died. Mm. So when you look at Stacey Abrams, they're trying to run a game. They're trying to run a game, I'm just telling you. And I don't know if you heard what Stacey Abrams did. She's talking about taking down the Stone Mountain Memorial.
Okay.
To me, that's one of the biggest tourist attractions in the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Well, she'll be a bigger one if she becomes governor. Yeah, that was a cheap shot. It felt good. That's not right. let these devils have their little thing, but tell the truth about the Confederacy. Right?
Right.
I mean, I'm really, see, she's from Mississippi, which makes me nervous. And she's a Methodist. I'm wondering what kind of Methodist, because they don't say AME. And, well, she went to Spelman. Okay, I'm not saying everyone. She worked as Youth Special Services Mayor. Okay, Environmental Protection Agency, Truman Scholar. Okay, and then she went to Yale, another gay bastion. Okay. So wow, she's in Atlanta. Doesn't really say she did much. Watch her. I'm just telling you, you have to watch this broad. She is very, very, she's good. She talks good, but, and by the way, Democrats tend to lose. Now, what you need to know, and I just encourage you to do this, they can nail her at any time they want. She owes $50,000 in back taxes. And I'm just thinking, wow. Could you owe $50,000 in back taxes, Hurt? Could you owe $10,000 in back taxes?
No.
So that says to me, I'm very intrigued how you get to owe at least $50,000 in back taxes. I don't know if I told you, I owed the government $400 in back taxes. Do you know what they did? They threatened to seal the house I lived in if I didn't pay them.
Wow.
$400. Maybe $6, no more. Less than $7. It had to be between $400. How did you get to owe that much money and they're not on you? You don't have a payment plan? You know, if you owed $20 or $15 or $30,000, brother, they would be on you. Anybody black that's really raising hell better be paid up to the IRS, because they're coming to get you if you owe them money. Let me see. Now, ask me anything else, brother. I'm just trying to think.
The Jack Johnson pardon, what was that really all about?
Well, I'm happy about that. I mean, I hope Trump pardons everybody. Donald Trump had a bunch of people meet with him. There are actually people that meet with Trump all the time. And I think he listens some of the time. Trump has this obsession with proving that he can get support him. He really does want this. I mean, he wants it bad. He wants it bad. He wants to prove that he could get black folks to support him. He wants it. And he wants to prove, because Trump has an ego, Trump wants to prove that black folks would vote for him when they wouldn't vote for other people. So he had a list of things. And I can just say to you personally, I gave a list of things that I felt would at least be symbolic things that would show some good faith from Trump, because he has such a bad reputation with black people who don't know him from New York. And I listed names. I said that Colonel Charles Young from Kentucky, from Maysville, Kentucky, that should get a commission as a brigadier general, and they should honor Young more than what they're doing. He should pardon Jack Johnson for violating the Mann Act. He should pardon Chuck Berry for violating the Mann Act. Only two people I'm aware of have been convicted, both Chuck Berry and Jack Johnson. And I also mentioned Marcus Garvey should be pardoned, among other people that I mentioned should be pardoned. And so from what I hear from a friend who works with Trump, there's a whole list of people, black, that have been dogged, and abused, that Trump looks to start bringing out one after the other because he wants to prove people who think of him as just this stupid white racist liar that they don't know what they're talking about. And it's possible for a person to be bigoted but not be an extreme crazed racist. I'm not saying one way or the other about Trump. What I am saying is, for those people who need these kinds of pardons, if Marcus Garvey's family feels that they need to be exonerated by the United States government, and it will make them feel better, even though I don't think that it's necessarily something that they have to have, and as much as Garvey was standing up to the government. But, you know, if they need it, if Trump gives it, and it makes this handful of black folks feel good, great. Are you feeling me?
Yeah,
but what is that Obama refused to do it.
Right.
By the way, Valerie Jarrett told Obama, don't do Jack Johnson. And Valerie Jarrett said, don't do Marcus Garvey. So if there's any idiot that likes that strong black woman, that backbone of our community, okay, where was Valerie Jarrett when Obama decided to double the price on Assata Shakur's head? She had the kind of influence to say, don't do that.
Did she give him the go ahead, though?
Are you feeling me? Do you like Valerie Jarrett after talking to me?
I mean, I don't know the woman personally. I know people who got family connections to her, and they told me some interesting things about her.
Were they good things or were they bad things?
Well, they just told me that at one point, like, she got married at one point and got divorced from the guy. The guy's no longer living. He was, I think, a doctor, and they had a child together.
And what happened to the child?
I don't know what happened. I don't really know. I just think that she was more of a careerist, but she was very ambitious as far as a career-wise. That really, I think she just had the child, or based on what they told me, she had the child to just, she got married so she could have the child, and so she could get out the way and continue on her career. That's what it sounds like.
She got married to throw the anti-LGBTQ bloodhounds off her trail.
And Jared, I guess by marriage, what's the guy named Vernon Jarrett, who started AXO, the Chicago journalist?
Yes, I'm familiar with the Jarrett, the activist Jarrett that helped.
Yeah, she's connected to him. Yeah, she's connected to him by, I guess, marriage. Is his last name Jarrett?
Right.
Yeah, but he started the AXO thing for the NAACP, So I know there's a very powerful, prominent name in Chicago, in Black Chicago, the Jarrett name.
Mm-hmm. But she's not really tight with them. She pimps the name of that family,
mm-hmm.
but not really like close or. Because she divorced him, didn't she?
Yeah, she divorced the guy. Yeah, but she kept the last name.
Yeah,
she's interested.
Yeah, because she used him like a black widow.
I mean, he's dead. I believe he died. I think he died a while back. I believe they had a son together, if I'm not mistaken.
And where is the son?
That's a good question. I don't know, because I had talked to the relatives related, connected to the Jarrett side about maybe 2 years ago. They were telling me all this stuff about their family and whatnot.
See, I like the Jarretts in Chicago that stood up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this one. I mean, and we shouldn't like her. I mean, people, the black community was more dynamic when folks were hard on our traders, mm-hmm. or hard half-steppers. If you coon, people didn't like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Michael Jordan. He shouldn't be able to go anywhere in the black community. People should get up and just walk out of the room. I know you're rich, and I know that but you're nothing for us to like. You play good basketball, but you play being a coon even better.
He was stood up and support Harvey Gantt, back in North Carolina.
He didn't support his own father. I mean, he was missing, and
strange. Yeah.
Remember, he took the people underwear and Gatorade.
Mm-hmm.
He could have had that town built back. He could have gotten. He didn't give. This kind of black person, they're monsters, and we should we should be unfriendly to these people. They shouldn't be able to count on our support or our friendship or anything. They should almost, I met Clarence Thomas 12, 13 years ago. And Clarence Thomas was really, really nice. Mm-hmm. Incredibly nice as a person. Mm-hmm. I'm serious. But Clarence Thomas had security guards. Clarence Thomas came in the side door. Clarence Thomas has Clarence Thomas has begun to do work down in Georgia, where he's from. Mm-hmm. Because the people where he's from hate him so much you can't even say his name. You may get beat up for talking about him. They don't even want to hear his name. He's had to go back to where he's from and start doing stuff to help out. You didn't know that. Mm-mm. Quietly. And I think the people wanted them quietly. Like, they don't want him to go out of the way. Don't try to make people know you're doing stuff. So Clarence Thomas has been creating stuff back in his town in Georgia quietly to try to redeem himself, because people just hated him so much. I had some associates that went down there and they asked him about Clarence Thomas. People almost mobbed him. And people told him, we're going to run. Who are you? Who sent you down here? Who gives a... And this is, look, if you ever say that name again, we will physically run you out. We'll drive you up. We hate him. Everybody hates him. And we're sorry. We just have to get that out. So you can stay down here, but you're not going to talk to somebody you don't want to know. And that's how the person had to agree not to talk about Clarence Thomas. Wow. In order to avoid the hate. That's a good thing. I wish Valerie Jarrett was subject to that. Where people say, that's the bee that was in there 8 years. I don't know if you heard about what happened to Omarosa. Springfield Mall. It's real talk. Omarosa was at the Springfield Mall looking at wedding dresses. And these sisters began screaming, calling her a bee. The top of their voice, the president's whore, prostitute, the president's whore. And they cussed out the Secret Service. Ask them, the bags, we'll be there. I mean, Omarosa had to flee the Springfield Mall. Because I can't play! Omarosa!
Where is Springfield Mall? Where is it located?
Springfield Mall is in Springfield, Virginia. It's about, I'd say about 20, 25, 30 miles max. Maybe it's 25 miles southwest of D.C.
Wow.
It's not far from where I live. It's about no more than 25 miles southwest of D.C. That's way down Richmond. And those women, the security guard, they basically chumped the security guards in the mall. They're going to beat those men up in there. We just want to kick them behind. We're not bad people. We just want to kick that beat. And so what you F Trump? You they had to get her out. She couldn't go to the store to pick dresses during business hours because the sisters wanted to just show her what time it was, let her know how it really was. Mm-hmm. I don't hate Omarosa. I went to school with Omarosa. I went to school with everybody. And I had to tell Omarosa straight up, I'm not going to steal money for you. And if you're as hot as you think you are, you can get whatever it is you want without using me. Okay? Mm-hmm. And if you think it's good, trust me, if it's good, there are a lot of people with more money than me. I don't have to steal from the student government to supplement the grant you already got. Mm-hmm. And yes, I'm looking for a woman. It's not you. Mm-hmm. Okay. it's trust me. And her breasts weren't that big then. She's had them things. They look good, puffed up, but those things are like little Chiquita bananas. She's a little small one. Now she's blown those things. Man, it's like she got cantaloupes. Well, I know it's like a little platter. You know, you go to a little Hispanic store, they have the really teeny bananas.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that almost look like the dress Josephine Baker would wear.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. When I saw the person, that's not Omarosa.
Wow.
Look like she had my ham under her shirt.
Wow.
So that's real talk. Oh yeah, I mean, I always tell the story that when Omarosa was running to be Miss Howard, I think in either 1998 or 99, 1 to 2 years, and Omarosa as her finale, before Janet Jackson made her breast fall out at the end of the song, and she got booed and she lost. I didn't think anybody boo a titty. You know, I give it a high five, but you know, but boo. But they booed her bosom, and she lost. But she did go on to be Miss DC. That's a very determined woman, a very smart woman. At least very. She could make it. She's gonna go somewhere. I don't know what happened with her book. Remember she said she had a book coming out?
Yeah, she was gonna write a book about it.
I don't know if Trump may have bought all the manuscripts in the blue.
Yep.
And I was gonna say to you, I gotta ask you, have you noticed that Mrs. Trump is still in the hospital?
I thought she was out. I just assumed I didn't know she was still in the hospital.
It's 19 days. Maybe she came out, but she was in there a long time. And they said it was a urinary tract infection or something like a kidney infection.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that she didn't get anything from Stormy Daniels. And I hope not. I'm not saying that is. I'm just saying, you know, when you have a husband that messes around, you can get a yeast infection. You know, have more yeast than one. You have more yeast than Wonder Bread because you're messing around. I just wondered about that. You stop hearing about the First Lady, and it was all mysterious how she's in the hospital all this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I mean, notice how you haven't been hearing about her.
Yeah.
And I think he got out of the hospital, but he got her name spelled wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was something I was going to mention to you, and I need to introduce you to a cat who's overseas so you can do a show. We need to do a program talking about South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the black people there are going haywire on the white people, and that was to have been expected, you know. That's why we need to start talking about all this forgiveness and start really solving people's social, political, and economic problems, and stop having cheap religious coons tell people, forgive this. You know, if you want to forgive something, forgive my credit card debt, forgive my mortgage, forgive my student loan, right? Forgive my taxes, right? Right, forgive my APR down to 0. Thank you very much. It's interesting that there's never any forgiveness for victims, only forgiveness for victimizers. But, you know, South Africa, you got about 10, maybe 12 million people that are colored, who in reality, a variation of mixed black people, many of which don't want to identify with black folks, and they're catching hell. Drugs, crime, confusion. And one of those folks reached out to me, and he was quite surprised because we were talking about, I was telling him that I didn't like the ANC in South Africa and that those guys are coons. They are coons. And I'm going to send you a letter that this young man wrote to Mandela before Mandela died, because, you know, Mandela is highly overrated. He's the South African version of Obama. And a lot of people, you know, think that Mandela is this great, 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 great man, and they have no idea that, you know, Mandela sold the people out. He sold the people out so hard until one of the greatest leaders that they had in the resistance movement had a stroke behind recognizing the depths of Mandela and his guys selling out the people. Do you remember Oliver Tambo?
Mm-mm.
You've heard the name.
I can't say I have. No, sir.
You didn't know the dude had a stroke? That Mandela and them coons so hard, they betrayed the people so mightily until one of the key inner circle of the movement against the apartheid had a stroke.
Mm.
That's what Mandela did. A lot of people don't know that Mandela was a coon. They've been told the same way they've been told Obama's a freedom fighter.
Mm.
You could tell black people that the dildo is a skyscraper, and they'll believe it if it comes on the regular news. And if you try to tell them otherwise, they get angry. I saw it on the news. And say, well, they show black people as monkeys on the news. Is that true? They'll say no. Says, well, if you can scrutinize the media when it comes to you personally, why can't we do it in a more systematic way? And that's normally when folks start, you say, man, I don't know what you're talking about. You talked above my head. That's black people's way of saying, please stop talking about an intelligent subject. I'm happy at the stupid, ignorant level that I am. And I don't appreciate your well-informed information. It's making me quite angry. And I'm bored. I'm through talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by say you're talking over my head.
Mm. And
so that's about it. But anyway, my brother, let's do this again. South Africa, and I'm thinking that we're going to have. There's something I want to share with you.
Okay.
Baltimore. Did you hear about the white woman? Her name is Amy Caprio.
Okay.
She's a little racist white police officer who was trying to kill a young black man that she assumed was trying to commit a crime, which is true, but she couldn't prove it. She jumps out of she backs this dude into a corner before she's even run the plates on his car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she comes out of her car and begins shooting at this dude.
Okay.
And this young guy, who's a young criminal, not well experienced, part of that's how he got caught,
Mm-hmm.
he panics, hits the accelerator, and he does to her what Wile E. Coyote always wanted to do, the road runner.
Oh, wow.
He ran road runner.
Mm.
And he ran over her and killed her.
Wow.
And the cops in the white community here in this greater D.C. Baltimore area, white folks want revenge. They want these young men punished. They found 3 other people, and they want all of these people to be made examples of. And now the police are going around beating the crap out of and brutalizing black people in Baltimore. It's just a matter of time or a weekend or so before the cops execute someone Freddie Gray style, and you may have another explosion in Baltimore. I hope not.
All right.
But I find it quite interesting. I think you and I have talked about Baltimore in the last couple of weeks. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Whenever I start feeling something, it happens. I don't even know why it's like that, but I'm telling you, Baltimore could blow again. They had their police chief recently resigned because he hadn't filed taxes in at least 3 years. At least 3. And maybe not filed taxes at all. They have another guy, and it's proven that they've been dropping guns on young black men and others, and after you kill them, put a gun on them.
Mm-hmm.
So the community's in uproar. The community that really hates the cops. And so if the cops go around beating up and brutalizing people when a cop was trying to kill someone and they got the person before the cop got them, you might see either some people shoot some cops or the cops shoot some people, and you're going to have a repeat of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. By the way, nobody, Democratic side, okay, nobody from the Democratic side, black, that's running, has said anything about this. They're not going to show any leadership. And So there you have it.
Wow.
We may see between now and maybe mid-August some mass level civil disturbances in the city of Baltimore. I hope not. I want to be wrong. By the way, I don't want another person killed. I don't even want a policeman killed. I always tell people my father was a policeman, a police chaplain, but a good person, a person that loved people, that wasn't corrupt, and would tell me that there were corrupt people on the force, and that the people come to him as a chaplain and would confess and tell him they don't like the partner that they're with, and when they go out, they just deliberately hurt people. They're people that just need to be talked to, and someone wants to beat them.
Sure.
I get this firsthand from a cop, that a lot of those people feel suicidal and depressed, not because of the people, but the brutal cops who shouldn't be on the force.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's firsthand confession. He never told me who or what, but he never told me who, but definitely told me what. So I know I have never been hit or slapped around by a policeman, but I know from my dad getting confessions that these folks beat people, shoot people, sexually abuse people. And if you're on the force, it's almost impossible to come forward, because then someone may want to hurt you. So the police in many instances operate like a gang. In fact, even less ethical than many gangs, because we know gangs are going to have territory. Gangs are going to tend to do what they're supposed to do within their turf. Cops, you never know what they're going to do because they have a badge, and they act like a super gang. They can go anywhere. And I'm going to stop there for a second. We'll see some other things come up. But keep your eyes peeled on Baltimore. And let's think about once this weather gets warm. And, oh, yes, I have a praise story. Remember Benjamin Banneker, the man who built Washington, D.C. and put all the Masonic stuff in there? A lot of people may not be aware that Benjamin Banneker used to have to travel via or to Ellicott City to get work done for getting the nation's capital construction done. Ellicott City is like one of the most racist KKK Nazi places in the region. That's the city that you see that's underwater with the water going down the street. It's the second time in 2-3 years that city has flooded. They're not going to build it back because they didn't expect it to flood so quickly. So it's kind of interesting. It's almost like judgment for the big sundown racist town to be destroyed by the elements. And I think that's a harbinger for what's going to happen to a lot of these places, like what you and Ashira and I were talking about, these sundown Nazi KKK towns where they have these mass shootings. And I have a riddle. How come you don't have mass shootings in the summertime?
Wow.
Because it's the black kids who know how to fight in summer school. They do that stuff with the eggheads. I mean, can you imagine some gangster people? Oh, we got a gun. F him. I'm going to throw a chair in you. They would probably kill some of these people before the police got there.
Mm-hmm.
So they never, ever mess with the bad kids.
Mm-hmm.
Some school kids would kill them. Man, this is more fun than beating up a teacher. So anyway, let me let you go, my brother.
That's right. Thank you so much. We're the Guilty. We love you, man. They keep on producing and pushing.
We have to. We have to. Okay. Peace.
Peace.
All right.